welcome back to Beauty Bee and to an Empties video. I usually don't do dedicated Empties videos. They're usually lumped into my beauty budget updates. But I have a ton of Empties this month, and I also did a little bit of a declutter. And I don't like editing 45-minute videos. My computer really does not like editing 45-minute videos. So I figured I'd just split them into two. I can have two 15 to 20-minute videos, and it will be so much easier on me. My computer will be much happier with me. It'll be just a beautiful friendship. So let's start with the couple of declutters. The first is this Essence Pure Nude highlighter. I said at the beginning of the summer that I was going to get my use out of this summer, and then I would retire it. It is coming up on being 5 years old at this point, and I have used it. I think you can maybe tell. The dome is a little bit flattened out at the top, but there's so much product in this thing. And honestly, it's just never a great color for me. If it catches the light wrong, which of course it's not going to do now because I'm trying to demonstrate something, but you can quite often see a little bit of just a gold streak on my skin. It works sometimes during the summer. I just haven't been outside as much this summer. I wasn't outside as much last summer. So this really hasn't gotten a ton of use since the summer of 2019, and it's just time. I don't think I'm going to get significantly deeper. I've actually been good about sunscreen this summer, which, yay me, that doesn't usually happen. And I'm just not spending much time outside, so I don't think that this is gonna work. However, it is a really pretty powder, and if you are just a hair deeper than me, I think this would work really well for you. It is a lovely consistency. I just wish Essence would put out a shade that is like half a step lighter. That would be perfect. Next, for the declutters, we have this Sephora Cream Lip Stain. This is in Always Red, I believe. It's the shade 1. This is a classic. I feel like a lot of people really sing this product's praises. I just have a much better, for me, red lipstick that I much prefer over this. This is shockingly red on me. It, I think, doesn't look that great. It is so red. It's just a little bit overwhelming. It is not showing up as red on camera as it does in person. This is very bright. It's just not something I ever find myself wearing. I did really appreciate this when I first got it. I got this sometime quite early in quarantine when I was stuck with my parents. Love you, Mom and Dad, but stuck with you. And I didn't have a whole lot of makeup with me, so this, along with the other two minis that came with this in a set, provided some much needed variety. But I don't know, now that I have more makeup and access to all of the makeup that I own, there's no real reason for this to stick around. This just went bad on me. This is the Inky List Brighten Eye Cream. This stinks. I have not had this forever. I have had this since November, December. So it's like an 8-month-old product. True, it does say that it expires in 6 months, but I mean, I usually just use skincare until I'm done with it. I don't tend to have a ton open, so I can usually go through things pretty quickly. I actually don't think that even if I used this as my only eye cream, I would have finished this before it went bad on me. I went back a couple of weeks ago and tried to get into using this again after finishing up a product that we'll actually talk about in a couple of minutes here, but it stinks. And I don't think that it smelled when I first got it. I think that I would have remembered that, so I can't use this anymore. The consistency has also changed a little bit. It's a little bit less creamy or lotiony and a little bit almost on like the chunky cottage cheese side. I hate how quickly this went bad on me, and it really makes me wonder if I want to try anything else from the Inky list. If you have tried several things from the Inky list, let me know if you've had this experience as well. It is possible that I got an older tube from Sephora, or maybe they stored this in a really, really hot place while I was moving. This was in the care of movers for a couple of weeks, but not a fan. Not a fan at all. And then there's a couple of other items that are sort of borderline empties and declutters. I think the first one we're going to talk about is this Wet n Wild eyeliner. Long, awkward pause in there. This just fell out, and I'd used so much of it over the years that, because it's been years. I've had this for way too long, but I feel like I deserve to call this an empty because I have used so much of it. But I can't use it anymore. I thought this was pretty solid. I would consider repurchasing it. I just don't have any great need right now for another pencil eyeliner. July is just a dangerous time for makeup because it's so hot that it gets a little bit on the soft side. And I think that's what went wrong with my e.l.f. Day to Night lipstick. I loved this product when I first got it, particularly the night side I thought was beautiful, and then it melted, and then I didn't realize how melted it was, and it fell out when I tried to apply it. And then I tried to fix it, and it got worse. So now I have no night lipstick. Very, very sad. And the day lipstick, which is a little bit lighter, this is a very yellowy peachy brown. This does nothing for me by itself. When paired with the darker shade as a little bit of liner, using this as a highlight shade right at the center of the lip, it could actually be very pretty. But this is a terrible color for me by itself, and I just have no use for it now. To wear this color now, I need to bring in some kind of darker lipstick as well as often a gloss on top. And I can get something really similar to the end result far more easily and have it look better with other products I own. So this is going, which is sad. And finally, we have this Wet n Wild Rosé in the Air palette. I have finished 3 shades from this. I just got powder all over my pants. Goodness. I will be more careful now showing it to you. I had finished 3 shades from this palette completely. They were this transition shade, which was a cool toned, somewhat light brown that I used in my brows quite often. There was a cream shade, and then there was a gold. I had repressed like a copper shade in here, and I have since repressed that again into a singles pan, and I took a lavender shade out and repressed that into a singles pan as well. I have gotten the use out of this. The packaging is starting to break. It's just, this has lived a very full life for I want to say this was originally a $5 palette, and I bought this on clearance when my Target decided to stop selling Wet n Wild, so I probably got this for like $2. It's lived a very full life for a $2 palette, and it's just time for it to go. That's it. And now we get to move to the very full box of empties. Am I going to sort through things before I pull them out? Probably not. Let's just start with things that are on the top. This is this isn't the Shea Moisture Sugarcane Extract and Meadow Foam Seed Leave-In Treatment. This is actually the Marc Anthony Grow Long, Grow Strong Leave-In Conditioner. I had just repurposed this bottle once I finished the Shea Moisture product, And I thought that both of these were just okay. I mean, it's leave-in conditioner. It did make my hair feel a little bit softer. I do think that it made it a little bit more manageable and cut down the frizz somewhat. As far as the grow long, grow strong, I have no idea if it helped my hair to be a little less breakage prone or not. But in any case, it was a fine product. I am currently trying out a Saints and Sinners leave-in, and I have been also trying out a Way leave-in conditioner. So if neither of those ends up wowing me, I'll probably just go back to the John Frieda one or another one at a similar price point. I don't really care that much about leave-in conditioner. This is a shower cap, and it actually shouldn't be in here because it's not really a beauty empty. Next up, we have the Verb Hydrating Mask. This is just a mini, and I thought that this was pretty good. I did not get as many uses out of this as I thought I would. I really only got 3 uses, and I think really it was probably more like 3.5 uses out of this, because by the time that I was using it that third time, I could tell there wasn't going to be enough for a 4th, so I probably used a little bit more than I should have that time. And I don't have a ton of hair, as I am sure you can tell. I mean, I have chin-length hair. It is actually a little bit on the thicker than average side, but the individual hairs are quite fine. And I think that this was a good product for them. It's a little bit pricey for the results it gave me, I thought. I did not think that this was as good as, again, from Saints and Sinners, the Divine Velvet hair mask that I have been using. And I think they're not the same price point, but a similar enough price point that I don't see myself repurchasing this Verb one. I would much rather spend a little bit more money and get the Saints and Sinners one if I'm going to buy a high-end hair mask. I didn't intend to go in any order, but it looks like I have finished my hair care, so now I think I'm going to move to skincare. First up, we have the Neutrogena Soothing Clear Turmeric Oil-Free Gel Moisturizer. I much prefer a gel moisturizer to a more lotiony one. I used to have quite acne-prone, oily skin, which is probably why I started out with a lot of these gel moisturizers. Now I have such normal skin, and I am appreciating that while it lasts. However, I still just like the consistency of a gel moisturizer. This smells really nice. I think I said in past videos that it smells a little bit like Tang tea, and I stand by that. It is a really nice scent. It's a little bit citrusy and a little bit tea-like. Apparently it smells like turmeric. Who would have known? And I thought that this was nourishing enough for me. I don't need a ton of moisture. I just want to sort of calm my skin every once in a while. I am not super sensitive to ingredients. Really, very few things tend to break me out, and very few things, if anything, knock on wood, give me really bad reactions. But I do have allergies, and sometimes my skin just feels raw from the allergies, and this is very soothing and made it feel really nice. Do I think this is leaps and bounds better than other gel moisturizers? Not really, but I would consider purchasing this again. I think this was a pretty reasonable price point, and I thought that this was just an all-over really pleasant product to use. So I don't have any need for another moisturizer anytime soon. I have like 2 completely full deluxe samples and then like a 3/4 full size, but I would consider this one again. Keeping with Neutrogena, we have this oil-free acne wash. I did not purchase this. Again, this is a cream cleanser. I tend to prefer gel cleansers also. I think that My mom may have bought this for one of my siblings and just kind of ended up in my possession, and I used it up. Anyway, this did keep me more or less free of spots, but again, I don't have huge issues with acne anyway. It did everything it claimed, but I wouldn't be interested in buying it again, or, well, I guess actually buying it, because I like to feel really clean when I'm done washing my face, and this just isn't that. It is more moisturizing. It doesn't give you that just bordering on squeaky clean feeling that I really do like, and it's a cream cleanser rather than a gel cleanser. Also, I wish this came in a pump. I just really prefer a pump over these squeezy tubes, so I will be skipping this one going forward. I mentioned this earlier. This is from Glamglow, and it is a sample of their Bright Eyes eye cream. This is a 3 milliliter sample, so it's actually a pretty decent sized sample. Most full-sized eye creams tend to be right around a half an ounce. So this is about 20% the size of this tube and most other eye creams. I have used it up. I think that I liked this, but I think that a big portion of why I liked this so much was that I knew that it was kind of expensive for an eye cream, and because I really liked the packaging. This is so stinking cute. I love the pink with the rose gold because I am 2016 basic until the day I die. It has a star on the top. It's very tiny and very cute. I'm gonna keep this and use it for travel. I think this will be great for storing, you know, a few days worth of moisturizer or whatever other skincare product I need to take with me. But I do think that it was a good product. It didn't blow me out of the water. I'm not in any great hurry to spend Glamglow prices on eye cream. One more skincare product. This is the Watermelon Dew All Over Serum. It is from Tony Moly. I got this through Ipsy. I went through this really quickly. I only got this in my June Ipsy bag, and this has been sitting in my empties for a couple of weeks. So it lasted me a month, maybe 6 weeks. It was really nice to use. It feels really refreshing. It feels really cooling. It does smell like watermelon, which I really like. I just don't think it did anything for my skin whatsoever, and not really interested in purchasing a product that does nothing for my skin. Also, the instructions on this are awful. It's just gently apply an appropriate amount to the skin along the skin's texture and pat your skin to enhance absorption. What does along my skin's texture mean, first of all? And what's an appropriate amount? Am I just supposed to know that going into this? I don't understand. That I felt more confused after reading those instructions than I felt just how I would have if I'd just gone in without looking at them at all. Okay, let's see. I have some fragrance stuff. Actually, I have quite a bit of fragrance stuff. The first and the biggest item is this Moonlight Path Body Mist from Bath & Body Works. I had this years ago. I had this in high school, and I didn't even realize that I had until I smelled it for the first time. It smells like period 1 chemistry from 10th grade, which I really liked. I actually went to college intending to be a chem major, but this smells nice. It's just smells like 10th grade, so yeah, I'm good. I am much happier at 27 than I was at 15, 16, so we can leave that in the past now that it's used up. The next two I won't go into a ton of detail about because I went into overwhelming detail in a recent perfume video I did, but I finished off 2 perfume samples this month. The first is from Skylar, and it is their Salt Air perfume. and the other is from Valentino and is the Born in Roma. Again, I mean, I liked both of them. I wouldn't have finished them if they were perfumes that I disliked, but if you want more details, they'll be in that perfume video. And finally, we get to makeup. We're going to start with one item that's a little bit borderline makeup versus skincare. And this is the Ciate Lychee and Acai Burst Conditioning Lip Oil. This grew on me the longer I used it. At first, I thought it was just awful. I couldn't get over the taste. As I continued to use it, I became more neutral about it. I thought that the taste was still not good, but I didn't notice it quite as much. And I think that it did an okay job of hydrating my lips for the summer. I don't think this would be enough for me in winter, but in summer it was fine. What I didn't like about this product is how goopy it is. This is just not something that should be stored in this kind of tube. The cap, I've cleaned the cap out like 4 times, but it just gets filled with lip oil because it just drips out as it's stored. I had a hard time getting the right amount on my lips. This just wasn't what I wanted it to be. I have not tried another straight lip oil before, and it doesn't make me super interested in other lip oils. Next up, I have an eyeshadow from NYX. This was a matte bone color. I have used it up largely just putting it all over the lid to set my eyeshadow primer. It works really well for that. Worked really well for that. This was originally from the Avant Pop palette in the shade, it's not Surreal My Heart, Nouveau Chic. I had that and it was my favorite palette for years. I don't know why I couldn't think of it off the top of my head, but I liked it, I used it up, and I'm happy to have it gone. I just don't need to have eyeshadows sticking around for 5 years, which is how long this has been in my collection. And then finally, I have a lipstick empty. This is a Maybelline lipstick. It is in the shade Pink for me. And there is still a tiny, tiny bit left. If I really wanted to, I could probably apply it. However, I was hitting my lips with the hard plastic bit the last couple times I applied it, and I have enough lipstick that I don't need to suffer for this particular shade. I thought this was just good. It wasn't great. I don't think there's anything that is great about these cream formula Maybelline lipsticks. The color is, again, good. Not great. It worked well for me, but it didn't blow me away. The formula is fine. It's a little bit more on the glossy side and less on the hard wearing side than I really wanted it to be, but I have no complaints about this lipstick. I just don't have anything incredible to say about it. So it's gone, and that's one more thing out of my project pan for the year and one less lip product in my collection, which is good. A big positive these days. So finally, I don't have to have this box of junk sitting on my bathroom counter. I'm very excited to finally be able to toss these things. Thank you so much for watching. If there are any questions that you have about these products, I would be happy to at least try to answer them. Please consider liking and subscribing if you enjoyed, and I hope that I will see you next time. I am really glad that I did not try to film this as part of my beauty budget video, because I've apparently been filming for 36 minutes. Alright, hope to see you next time. Bye!